Welcome to the Beyond You podcast, where we have real conversations about healing, trusting yourself again, and building the kind of relationships that actually feel good. I'm Samantha, and if you've ever felt like you're just going through the motions, like you're doing all the right things but still feeling disconnected, you're in the right place. Because here we go beyond the surface, beyond the hurt, beyond the patterns that keep you stuck. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's get into it.
Welcome back to my channel. And I just want to be able to talk about on what to do and how to kind of get this with the world like falling apart. I feel like I've been scrolling lately and you're seeing unemployment numbers, comment sections full of people tearing each other apart. And I felt the familiar tightness in my chest. You know, the one where your breath gets shallow, your shoulders creep up towards your ears, and suddenly you're 3 cups of coffee deep, wondering how you're supposed to just keep going through your day like everything is normal when everything you feel like is on fire. And so then I opened Instagram, more stories of women barely holding it together, more posts about layoffs, more anxiety, disguised as productivity tips. And in my therapy practice, I'm seeing it everywhere. This undercurrent of how am I supposed to work on myself when the world literally feels like it's falling apart. And what I want you to know is that you're not wrong. The world is heavy right now. The news cycle is relentless, uncertainty is real, and for professional women, especially women of color, we're carrying our own stuff plus the weight of everything happening around us, plus the pressure to somehow have it all together when the ground keeps shifting beneath our feet. So how do you choose yourself in the middle of all that chaos, and how do you establish a nourishing relationship with yourself when it feels like there's always something demanding your attention, your energy, your peace? I've been thinking about this a lot, both as a therapist who's holding space for women navigating this exact struggle, and as a woman who's had to learn this lesson the hard way over and over again in different seasons, in different forms. And I get it. I understand. And it's difficult. So get your coffee or tea ready because there's our moment. Because let me tell you, just my last week, right? I woke up to news alerts. I think it was last Tuesday or so. Just news alerts in an industry. Scroll to see another headline, the rising cost of literally everything. Then a friend texted about her relationship falling apart. Then I remembered I needed to respond to an email had been sitting in my inbox because I've been avoiding this energy it would take. It was only 7:47 in the morning. And I hadn't even finished my coffee yet, and I already felt like I would run a marathon through other people's emergencies while carrying the weight of the world that I cannot control. And what I see is that I caught myself doing a thing I used to do all the time, and immediately shifting into problem-solving mode. How could I help my friend? What should I say in the email? What if the economic situation affects my, whether it's practice or business, or whatever it is? What does this mean for my clients? Am I doing enough? Should I be doing more? What do I need to prepare for? Then put my phone face down on the counter. I picked up my coffee with both hands and I asked myself one question. What do I need right now? Not what does the world need from me? Not what do I need to fix? Not what's the responsible, mature, put together thing to do. What do I need right now, in this moment, in this body, with this nervous system that's activated since 7:47 a.m.? And you know what the answer was? To finish my coffee. To finish my coffee while it was still hot, to take 5 full breaths, to not even plan for the next 3 hours. That's it. It's not impressive. It's not Instagram worthy, not the kind of self-care that comes with the aesthetic flat lady photo. Just choosing me in the smallest, most ordinary way possible. So what it actually means to choose yourself. Here's what I've learned, both in my own healing journey and working with thousands of women who are navigating their own chaos. Choosing yourself in the middle of everything, falling apart, doesn't mean you stop caring about the world. I need you to hear that. It doesn't mean you become selfish or checked out or stop showing up. It means you remember that you can't pour from a cup that's already empty, right? And that's not a cliche. That's literally survival. So let me just break down what choosing yourself means. Recognizing when your nervous system is overwhelmed and giving it what it needs to regulate, even if that's just 5 minutes of not consuming any more information. Setting boundaries around your emotional bandwidth, especially when everything around you feels urgent. Protecting your peace as fiercely as you protect your time, your money, your kids, because your peace is just as valuable, maybe even more. Remembering that you are not responsible for fixing everything or carrying everyone. You can care deeply and still have limits. Both things are true. Coming back to your own body, your own breath, your own needs over and over again, even when the world is screaming for your attention. It's not one big dramatic moment. It's 100 of those small choices throughout your day. It's the accumulation of the times you choose yourself when everything in you wanted to default to taking care of everyone else first. So let's kind of see on why this overall hits different for us. If you're a professional woman of color reading this or seeing this, you already know why this hurt her. We were taught that our needs come last, that we need to be twice as good as and deserve half as much, that strength means never breaking, that boundaries are selfish. And the very real reality that the chaos isn't just happening around us, it's happening to us disproportionately. Whether it's unemployment rates that hit our communities harder, healthcare disparities that show up in our stress levels and our bodies, or the daily accumulation of navigating spaces that weren't designed for us to thrive. And right now, I'm watching women carry impossible loads in my practice and seeing high-achieving women who are holding it together on the outside while quietly unraveling on the inside. And honestly, I'm seeing people, colleagues, other therapists struggling too, because we're all swimming in the same waters. We're all feeling the weight of holding space in a world that feels increasingly heavy. So when I say choose yourself, I'm not saying it some removed privileged place where the stakes are low and the consequences are minimal here. I'm saying it as a woman who knows exactly how much courage it takes, how countercultural it is, how much internal resistance that you'll face, how guilty you feel the first dozen times you try it. And I'm telling you to do it anyway. Because here's what nobody tells us. When we do not choose ourselves, we don't hurt ourselves. We model for our daughters, our nieces, the younger women watching us that their needs don't matter either. That they should run themselves into the ground trying to hold up a world that wasn't designed to support them in the first place. Understanding your self-preservation isn't selfish, it's revolutionary, it's survival. And right now, in this particular moment, is absolutely essential. So I would always like to kind of give you guys the practice of just coming home to yourself. So how do you actually do this? How do you choose yourself when everything feels urgent and everyone needs something and the world won't stop being heavy? You start small, like really, really small, okay? Like before morning check-in, before you pick up your phone, before you dive into your news, the emails, the to-do list, ask yourself, how do I feel right now? What do I need today? Just ask. Just listen, no judgment, no fixing, just awareness, just seeing what comes up for you. Then you do midday recalibration, right? Set a timer for twice a day. So when it goes off, I want you to pause and just to notice you. Where am I holding tension in my body? What's one thing I need right now that I can actually give myself? Am I operating from choice or from obligation? And then you can have an evening boundary. Pick a time, maybe 8 p.m., 9, 7, after which you stop consuming news and other people's emergencies. Your nervous system needs to down-regulate before sleep. The world will still be there tomorrow, but you won't be any good to anyone if you're running on fumes. So the not right now practice that I could just tell people to do when you feel the pull to fix, help, solve, and carry, pause and ask, does this need to be handled by right now or by me? Not everything that feels urgent is actually urgent. Not everything is your responsibility. So you can also 5-minute choose when you feel overwhelmed or you just need a self-care Sunday. Have 5 minutes to actually consciously choose yourself. Stepping aside for air, putting on a song you love and just listening, stretching your body, making tea and drinking it while it's hot, sitting in your car in silence before you walk into the house, which I know we've all probably done before. We would have kids or not. 5 minutes, just not managing everyone else's emotions, that you just being and just breathing. So what happened after my cough number? Remember Tuesday, just last week, Tuesday morning, right? Here's what I didn't tell you. After I put my phone down and finished my coffee in silence, I still had to respond to, a co-parent, right? An ex-husband. I still had to, the anxiety didn't magically disappear with those things or respond to his emails. But here's what changed. I respond from a place of centeredness instead of reactivity. And that's why I tell people, if you do not want to pick up a phone, do not want to do those things, to allow yourself to be in moments where you actually want to do it in a place of being centered. And that matters. That matters so much. Then you give it credit for you just being able to listen and to being able to respond when you feel centered with yourself. Understand that you become more capable because you're not running empty when you're choosing yourself. You're not operating from depletion, through resentment. You're not trying to save everyone while drowning yourself. You're choosing yourself so you can show up as the fullest, most grounded version of who you are. Not the exhausted, overwhelmed, perpetually depleted version. The real you, the one who's been waiting for you to come back to her. So, a letter to you right now. If you're reading this or listening to this in the middle of your own chaos, whether it's employment, relationship struggles, family stress, world events, or the accumulation of everything feeling heavy, I want you to know something. You choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's not indulgent. It's not nice to do when things calm down. I need you to know that it's essential. It's survival. It's the foundation for everything else that you're trying to build. The world will always have reasons why right now isn't a good time to prioritize yourself. There will always be another crisis, another person needs you, another fire to put out. But here's what I now, after 6 years of learning this lesson over and over. The world doesn't stop being chaotic when you're ready. You have to choose yourself in the middle of the chaos, not after, during. And I know that's hard. Like, I know it feels impossible some days. I know it goes against everything you were taught about what it means to be this good woman, a good mother, a good employee, a good friend. But you cannot pour from an empty cup, and refilling your cup isn't something that happens after taking care of everyone else. It happens when you make the radical choice to take care of yourself while you're taking care of everyone else, not instead of alongside. You matter, not because of what you produce or achieve or give or manage, but because you exist, because you're here, because you're human being who deserves to take up space and have needs and be cared for, including by yourself. So know that here's your invitation. What's one small way you could choose yourself today? Let me know in the comments. Not tomorrow when things are less chaotic, not next week when you have more time, today, right now. Maybe it's saying no to one thing you don't actually have capacity for. Maybe it's taking 5 minutes before you respond to the email, eating lunch away from your desk, asking for help instead of doing it alone, going to bed 30 minutes earlier, letting yourself feel your feelings without immediately trying to fix them. Protecting your morning routine, even when everything feels urgent. Whatever it is, choose it. Choose you, because the relationship you have with yourself, the way you treat yourself, talk to yourself, show up for yourself, that's the foundation for everything else. Every other relationship, every goal, every dream, every boundary, every hard conversation, every new chapter, it all starts with you choosing yourself over and over. In the big moments, and especially in the small ones. The world needs you, but the world needs you whole, not depleted, grounded, and not feeling like you're being scattered, and very clear, right? And not overwhelmed. You can't get that version of yourself if you're not choosing her first. So start today. Start small. Start with your next breath. Choose yourself, even especially in the middle of chaos. You're worth it, and you always have been. With so much love and respect for your journey. I just want to thank you just being here with me in this video and podcast. And know if any of this resonated with you, please feel free to just subscribe and share for women who need to be able to hear this. And know that if you ever need assistance with just showing up for yourself and breaking free from unhealthy dynamics and just reconnecting with you again, know whether you're listening to this podcast or you just step in our newsletter, we have different tools to really kind of have access to this information daily if you're on our Instagram or TikTok, or weekly on our newsletter. And know that we have things to be able to allow for you to reconnect back to you and not forget you in the process. We have our ebook, Reclaiming You, the 3-step blueprint every woman needs after toxic love, that includes a Miss Me journal. Know that there are resources out there for you. I can't wait to see you next week.